Hi everyone, my name is Melanae Sparks and you're watching FERNTV. I'm here at the Toronto International Film Festival 2016. How did you come across the screenplay? Was it a novel or short story that you had read, or was it something more personal?
Oh, it was something more personal. I wrote the screenplay myself. And yeah, I live in a small town, and the script was just sort of based on characters that real people basically that I know, and, inspired by a bunch of things, but basically it was all just, inspiration was drawn from my community and my life, and just an amalgamation of all the things that are familiar to me.
So was there a moment or a scene or a line that really stuck with you throughout the film?
This isn't what I would expect to say, because actually for me, my films are usually quite quiet. There's very little dialogue, so often I don't really put a lot of weight in lines, I guess. So I think some of my favorite moments would probably be like a particular image, but when Nessa and Blaze go to get their lawnmower fixed by a mechanic, the exchange that Blaze and this mechanic have, for me, sticks with me just because it's funny, and my films are usually pretty harsh, but that was probably the first time in all my filmmaking where when I was in the edit, every time I watched it, I would just be in my office by myself, just like laughing at their exchange. Like, Blaze is like, does it look like we have $60? And the mechanic's like, does it look like I fixed them for nothing? The lawnmowers, I don't know. Those lines sort of stick with me because it was improv, that scene, and I like that. It's probably the first time that people have laughed in the theater at one of my films. So,
what were some of the characteristics that you looked for when you were doing the casting, and why did you choose Breagh and Andrew?
Anytime I cast, I think I'm looking for like a distinct look. So I think with both characters, I was looking for that. I'm looking for someone who can communicate a lot in subtle ways. With Blaze, because he's sort of a loud, volatile character, I think I was looking for someone who could improv and just go different places, unexpected places and unexpected moments, just be unpredictable. And then with Nessa, because I wanted her to be, to have a different feel than Blaze. I think with casting Breagh, it was like she had these really big eyes that that I think you can read a lot in. And yeah, I found Breagh. Well, Andrew is a friend of mine who I grew up with, and we grew up in the same small town. And when I was writing it, I was just like, he's gonna know this character. He's like a super creative, unique guy. There's not many people there's no one like him basically. So I was like, he's got to play this character. So that was like, I knew all along while I was writing that he would play it. But finding Nessa was a bit harder, and we did a search for a long time. And I was auditioning lots of young girls, but with Breagh, someone just told me there was this theater actress that was in a lot of plays and super hardworking, so I Googled her and saw a picture of her on her Twitter, and when I saw her face, I was like, oh, she's a great look, so I messaged her on Twitter, and she came and auditioned, and she got the part.
What was the main message that you wanted the audience to take home with them?
When I make a film, I don't have a message in my head that I'm trying to convey.
Okay.
For me, it's more like I get captivated by people or a setting or a feeling, and I just want to explore that and try to understand certain issues. Like in my community, there's issues with young people overdosing and committing suicide, and just being in dysfunctional relationships, and just a lot of dependency problems in many different ways. And on a spectrum of dependency, it doesn't just have to be addiction to a drug. So for me, I guess I was just trying to witnessing and experiencing some of this stuff in my own personal life. I just wanted to try to understand things, and so it's just a discovery process and exploration. At the end, I'm not even sure if I find any answers, but I have a film that I guess I just want to speak for itself, and what people take away from it. Hopefully it starts conversations, I guess, but what that conversation is, I don't really want to prescribe, I guess, too much.
So how does it feel to be here at TIFF?
It's kind of crazy. Because I'm from Cape Breton, so I'm from Big Pond. It's actually a town of or a village, I think it's called, of 23 people, and it's an aging community.
23, wow.
Yeah, so it's a very, very small. I had to drive an hour on a bus to get to my school in junior high and stuff in high school. So to be here surrounded by so many things and so many people it's kind of. I keep coughing. I think the air is different here. I don't know. Yeah, so it's really incredible. It's busy, but everyone's so nice and so supportive of other films. If you ever ask someone about what movie they're doing or what they're here for, they'll always respond, ask what you're doing, and you can discuss whatever it is and why you enjoy the festival. And so it's a very open community, but it's humongous. This place is huge, but yeah.
What was the biggest challenge that you faced when doing filming?
I suppose the biggest challenge I faced was kind of switching my skill set from theater to film, because in theater just everything has to be so big because the audience can be however far away that you need to your actions need to be so large and you need to constantly be so loud. So the idea of whispering was very, very bizarre for me. So whispering or knowing that my eye twitching could be so loud on screen. So I suppose just a changing of skill sets was my biggest thing.
What was it like working with Ashley, and what was it like working with Andrew?
Well, they're both fantastic people. I love them both dearly. But working with Ashley was fantastic. Her patience is impeccable, and just her trust in just putting us in situations and not really not telling us to be really strict with the script, just letting us just find out who we are and how we wanted to be wherever we were at the time. So I think her patience and her absolute trust was one of her best features. I believe Andrew is very interesting to work with because I've never worked with someone who just was so submersed in his character before. That was definitely my first experience with that. But he was fantastic. Obviously, if you've seen the movie, he's amazing.
I have.
Yeah, he's so good. So he does a great job, and and he's a very funny guy. But I'd say probably seeing him in Toronto here was very different. Even seeing him while we were filming the movie, he just giving him time to detach from that character and to come here. He's just such an impressive. He's very funny. He's a very nice guy.
So, do you see yourself doing another film, or do you think you're going to stick with theater?
I'd say I have a love for both at this point. They're so different. I've heard people compare them in the past, and I don't think I could do that now. Just the thought of it, saying that one is better than the other or anything, I don't think is true. I really think it's just you have to look for different things, and you can't really expect someone to do what they do in theater in front of a camera. So I would love to do both. In a perfect world, that would be definitely my choice, but so I really enjoy both.
Well, congratulations. The film is very, very good.
Thank you. Thanks.